I'm Craig Hummer. I've been a sports commentator for 25 years and covered over 60 different sports. I've always been fascinated by what makes athletes and leaders tick, as well as what propels them to greatness. Welcome to Motiv8'd. Pleased to be joined by Kanoa Pagan, a pitcher in the Giants organization in Kanoa. Can't thank you enough for taking the time, number one. But hey, you got a pretty cool backyard. Where are you right now?
I appreciate it. No, I'm happy to be here. I'm in Campbell, California.
And that's home for you?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, listen, here at Motiv8'd, we start with a very simple question, but sometimes, right, the answer can have a lot of different layers. So that question is, what motivates you?
I'd have to say my family. Very family orientated and just want to do well for them and be able to make them proud.
Now, because you mentioned family, I mean, I'm not sure if a lot of your fans or, people out there watching and listening are aware, and I hope you don't mind me asking, but I'm aware, of course, of a very tragic, thing that you and your family are going through. Are you willing to talk about the loss of your brother?
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I mean, I can't even imagine what that's like. So tell me a little bit about what you and your family have, been going through since you lost Koa.
So about a month ago, or actually a little more, time's flying right now, but it's been about 2 months. He just suddenly just kind of took a turn for the worst. Everything was good. And we learned a little later on that that's kind of the norm with childhood leukemia. It kind of just takes over, and then you get lucky, or you unfortunately, we weren't so lucky and we lost our little buddy. But yeah, I mean, it puts life in perspective. That's for sure. I mean, just the little things, especially that you take for granted each day, waking up, being able to say hi to them or kissing them goodnight at night. So it's like, it's just coming to, I don't want to say terms, but more like accepting that this is the reality now. And the best way to honor him is to live out his name and do well in his name and just try to make him proud, looking down on us as he's watching over us, as we all know. So.
Yeah. And I mean, right. I mean, you're, I know, going to be 22 in a few months, and I can't imagine, right, dealing that with your age. I'm a father of 3 daughters. So
Okay.
What's it been like for you to watch your parents go through this?
I mean, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, to be honest. It's nothing that you could ever prepare for or expect. We've lost loved ones before, but it's nothing like losing your little brother, because he's 8 years old. He had everything in front of him. It's always hard to lose a family member, but at least if you lose a grandparent or something, you're able to look back and say, wow, they lived an amazing life. You can kind of see the family tree that branched out from them, and kind of have peace with that. But what's hard is seeing everything that he missed out on. I mean, he had a great life. He was able to do a lot of stuff that many 8-year-olds didn't get to do. He was able to come watch me play in Arizona, travel to Texas, do all his crazy stuff while we travel the world. Basically, he was with us. So yeah, but.
Well, I can't, send out my best wishes enough, obviously, to you and your family, and thank you for certainly touching on that. I mean, I know your mom's of Hawaiian descent. I've spent a ton of time in the islands in my former athletic career, and clearly, right, in the Hawaiian tradition, family is everything, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's huge.
Share with me, if you will, either a story, right, that you and your brother, enjoyed because of your baseball, right, as we sort of turn now to that and sort of how you do hope to honor him best. Do you have a memory of him either with you or around you, or something that he loved from your playing?
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up in the Bay Area, we've always been Giants fans. So, I mean, we watch a lot of games, but it's more like we like to play the game and support the Giants. We're not like, we don't watch every game at night or everything, but so he grew up, and then actually Angel Pagan played for the Giants a couple years ago. And the joke was that we used to tell everyone that was our uncle. We're not related to him by any means, but so I remember this was right after I got drafted. I'd been in Arizona for about a month, and my family came out to visit me. And so Koa's whole life, his favorite pro baseball player was Angel Pagan.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, Koa, now that I'm pro baseball player. Who's your favorite baseball player? He goes, oh, it's still Angel Pagan. You're not major league yet, Noah. So hopefully one day I can get there so I can be his favorite baseball player. So we'll see.
And I was going to say, I mean, I'm going to telegraph that for you, right? Not just the success, but certainly emotion, right? That's going to be a pretty amazing day, right? When that happens for you and you get to look up and smile at your brother, right?
Yeah, of course. I know he's watching, so.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, let's talk about, right, this career that not only you've had so far, but that hopefully is going to go through the stratosphere. I read somewhere that there was an interesting story about you even finding out you've been drafted. Do you mind sharing that?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. So I was with my coach, my dad, my mom was working actually. So, and then my two brothers. I got an older brother, a younger brother, and then the 8-year-old that passed away as well. But yeah, we were all sitting there watching it because there were some calls. I got a couple calls early on, but I mean, nothing too like, hey, we're going to pick you right now. None of that. It was just more, hey, what's your number you're looking for? This, and that. And so once you get past the first day, actually, they don't televise it. It's all through online. So we had we got the smart TV in the garage. We're just kind of streaming it up there, listening, hearing some buddies' names go. So it was cool, just hanging out. And then the TV froze. So like, oh, damn. All right, well, Dad goes outside to take a call. We're all just kind of shooting the shit in the garage. And then we get a thing. My coach looks at his phone. He goes, holy shit. You just got drafted by the Giants. We're like, what? We went crazy, went outside, told my dad. He hung up the phone, was like, oh, screw it. Called Mom. So, I mean, it was just like that. You sit there, not that we were sitting there watching it, waiting to happen. I mean, we wanted to see some of my buddies get drafted and everything, but we're just sitting around. And then the second everyone's like, oh, okay, we'll give it a minute. Boom, it happened. So
that
cool.
is crazy. And now because you mentioned, right, some of your buddies that you saw get drafted, what's it like to sort of either have a posse, right, or this group of guys that are so close and you guys all found success at the same time? How's that been to sort of share stories differently?
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, the biggest thing is like in your off-season training. So you have this group of guys around you that are all at the same level, like-minded individuals and everything. So it kind of helps you stay on track, just kind of push each other even more. Even though you're not teammates, there's still that camaraderie and friendship there that'll last forever. So it's been good.
When did you start playing ball? I mean, is your whole family into it? I mean, you mentioned your youngest brother, but is it a whole Pagan clan that goes out to the diamond together?
Oh yeah, no. So I started playing from as early as I can remember. I want to say around 3. I mean, we had bats and balls since the day we were born. My dad, he played Little League. That was about it. But I mean, he just loved the game. And then Mom was kind of, she supported us. So, but yeah, watching my older brother, I was fortunate enough to have an older brother too. So I was always at the field during his games.
Okay.
And honestly, I credit that to where some of my skill comes from, being able to just hang out at the field all day with the other kids there, watching their big brothers, looking up like, oh, we want to be on that big field one day. And once you get to that field, you're still looking at older brother. He's climbing to the next big field. So it's just kind of chasing him like right there.
Yeah.
The whole time. But yeah, no, definitely. Every Pagan plays baseball.
What do you like? What do you like most about the game? Right? When I was a professional athlete, I did an individual sport, right? And so I always feel like there's a huge difference in the mindset between people that like to do things right individually, whether or not the glory comes or whatever, versus somebody like yourself who chooses a team sport. Did you think about that all as you started to fall in love with baseball?
I think a little bit, yeah. I mean, when I was younger, obviously we just played to have fun, and then you get that competition and just kind of that camaraderie there and everything. But no, definitely. I think I love baseball so much because it's brought me close to so many people. I love the game. Obviously, it's fun to me. So, I mean, yeah, it's like family in a sense. The baseball world's so small and connected. It's like everyone knows everyone. The thousands of people out there, chances are someone knows someone in the baseball world. So,
yeah, that's an interesting point, isn't it, that you make? I mean, not only those, that small group that makes up the major league baseball teams, right, that those who follow the sport peripherally know, but even within that minor league system, right? I mean, it's back to that, I think, that mantra of family that you keep going to.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Hey, you mentioned your brother's favorite player. Who's your favorite player?
My favorite player growing up, I'd say, was Tim Lincecum.
Okay.
Just 'cause he was kind of, I don't want to say underdog, but he was like the undersized, kind of skinny guy that just came out there and dominated. And then Brian Wilson was always a favorite too. And then
Yeah.
the classic Buster Posey as well. He's just been here for so long. Can't turn on the TV around here without hearing Buster or seeing his face. So
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, this is, right? I mean, let's get into a topical point for a second. I mean, this is an interesting time for the whole world, obviously. And I know that's probably changed your training and some of the other, timetables that you had. But if you don't mind me asking, this is an interesting time for baseball in general, right? With
yeah.
these talks are going on. Are you following that very much?
I try to follow a little bit. I mean, right now I'm just trying to stick to my own routine and try to stay on my own schedule and kind of, because there's nothing really I can do to help dictate it really. So in my mind, it's kind of, I'll let it play out while I stay focused on myself. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting to read and follow it through Twitter and everything. So it's kind of crazy hearing like the big leaguers' perspectives as well. And then it's just that back and forth stuff. So.
Yeah, right. It's a strange time for sports in general, right? I mean, NBA, of course, is immediately going through their own issues right now, right? With some of the stars wanting to play versus some of the role players perhaps not wanting to play. So you mentioned how you're concentrated on your stuff. Take me through your daily routine. What are you doing right now?
So wake up, get ready. I'm throwing every day, bullpen every Friday or Saturday, depending on who's over there or whatnot. Just throwing, working out. The Giants are really good because they put us on a nice they have a platform for us through our phones basically. So it has each workout I'm going to do for the day. And if it's an off day, it has all the recovery stuff I do. So it's pretty simple. I basically wake up, get ready, hang out with the family for a little bit and kind of start my day as they all go to work and everything. Just with the simplicity of the smartphone right there. Just boom, I know what I'm doing, have it set there. So it's good.
Isn't that amazing, right? I mean, you're near the hotbed of technology, of course, there, Silicon Valley. But it is amazing now with your generation, because one of the main sports that I do right now is bull riding, and a lot of the bull riders, same thing. They've got their workout routine on their phone. They could do it wherever they are.
Yeah, no, exactly. It changes everything, really. It takes away like you having to travel or paying for a personal trainer or just someone to help you out, just structure a plan. It's all there, boom. So you know what you got to do.
You hinted at it a moment ago, and I didn't say it at the beginning, but obviously, yes, you are a pitcher. So the obvious question is, what's your favorite pitch?
On my fastball.
Just bring the heat, right?
Just bring the heat, blow it by them. There's no better feeling. So,
yeah, that's got to be a pretty cool feeling, which leads me into a very obvious question. I'm never going to know what it feels like to strike somebody out. What does that feel like to you?
I mean, it's hard to describe. Like, it's a sense of pride, but it's also like kind of like a fuck yeah at the same time. Like, you don't want to show them up, but you're feeling it inside. Like, yeah, I got the best of you. I just went straight at you, and there it is. So
that's cool. Do you ever think of it like it's almost like a chess game, right? But in real time. I mean, you have to clearly perform, but before that, you have to try to outthink the batter, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of thinking that goes into it, which also complicates things. So, I mean, the best thing for me is I trust my catcher. No matter who's catching, I got to have faith that he, as well as the pitching coach, are in there doing the thinking for me. So all I got to do is follow the signs and then trust that they got the right chess move in a sense set up. Yeah. So
I think that's cool the way you described it, because I think not many casual baseball fans know really how important that partnership is between you and a catcher. I mean, as you've come through, not just high school, but JC and now with the Giants, I mean, what do you like most in a catcher? I know you said it doesn't matter who it is, but what sort of characteristics do you think make a great catcher and therefore a great partner for you?
Personally, I think it's more someone that I trust, that knows the game well enough. And it gets easier as you climb the ladder a little bit. So, you know that these guys are good and that they know what they're doing. But, I mean, I got to say that most of my friends have been catchers. Like on the team, like you get close with your catcher. That's a bond that you two share. When you're out on the field, like it looks like it's just the pitcher versus the hitter, which oftentimes it is, but there's that other guy in there too. If the catcher's not catching the ball, then you're losing, you know? So it takes two basically right there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, right? Because it is a partnership, right? And it's also a dance in some ways because you guys are mind board, right? You're one mind at times. Again, might seem like an obvious question talking to a professional baseball pitcher, but what's the ultimate goal for you? What, look 5, look 10 years down the line. What do you want people saying about you?
Personally, I want to make it my goal. Obviously, my goal is to make it to the big leagues. And then now once I'm in the big leagues, I want to be a Cy Young winner. I mean, realistically, that's every pitcher's dream. You want to win that Cy Young and be able to prove to the world that you're the best in a sense. But more than that, I want to prove to myself that I can compete and excel against the best as well.
When you were drafted and now that you're in the organization, do you have a lot of talks with the Giants about your timetable? Because, right, I mean, the history is littered with people who are either drafted high up and then don't pan out, or perhaps like yourself, drafted in the 19th round and get to the majors quicker than some of the people you're throwing with. So have you had those sort of talks yet?
I wouldn't really say timetable. It's just more about baseball's a crazy game. Anything could happen at any time. I mean, you see some guys spend 10 years in the minors and then make it to the bigs, where some guys spend 10 years, don't make it. And then there's guys that make it in a couple years. It's all about, I mean, it's more what you put into it, you get out of it in a sense. But at the same time, it's also being there at the right time when the team needs it. So it's more just, you're in here for the long haul. So you got to just take your cards as you get them and then make the best out of it, I think.
A lot of, I'll just say the media, right? I mean, there's a lot written about how baseball players have a lot of downtime. What do you like to do when you're away from the diamond?
Fish.
Really?
Big fisher, yeah. Love fishing.
What do you like to go after? Saltwater or freshwater?
Mostly freshwater, just largemouth.
Nice.
So, yeah, we do a lot of that around.
A lot of the PBR writers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
no one knows about guys it. Fishers and hunters.
Oh yeah, no, we went hunting yesterday actually. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, just more being outside.
You like to hunt?
Not too much, like here and there. My dad grew up on that. He's actually from Texas, so he's got a little bit of that lifestyle in him.
Yeah,
but, I mean, now he's more settled down in the city, but.
Where in Texas is he from?
I want to say El Paso.
If I'm
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's real Texas, right? That's not city. That's not city Texas.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Hey, I just watched, and again, right, I'm a lot older than you, so maybe you've never delved into this, but one of my favorite baseball movies, speaking of Texas, of all time is The Rookie with Dennis Quaid. Have you ever seen that?
Okay, yeah, great movie. Yeah.
Great movie, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Morris.
No, he really I remember watching that. We used to have a DVD player in the car. We'd take road trips as a family, a lot like down south, Southern California, because we had a family down there. But I remember only watching that. We had that on DVD, and we watched that every single time, there and back. It was a great movie, though.
Yeah, and here's my biggest wish for you, my friend, that it doesn't take you that long, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. But hey, at least it happened.
All right, now listen, are you a social media guy?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, so in your preferred order, what is it? Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok? Give me those in order.
I'd say Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
All right. And now have you delved into the TikTok much?
Personally, I'm not much of a TikToker, but I've seen some funny stuff on there. I don't know. It's pretty new, so I feel like I got enough social media.
Believe it or not, right? At 21, I think you're like almost too old to really.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's directed for a younger crowd, definitely.
All right. Well, last question, because it's been great just sort of visiting with you, obviously, and hopefully we do more of these in the future. But what do you want your fans to know? I mean, that's another thing, right, about social media these days. We're doing a podcast. I mean, this is a chance for you to talk to prospective fans. I mean, what's something about you that you want to sort of leave in the minds of everybody out there listening and watching?
I mean, I would just like to thank everyone for their support. I mean, the community came around us when I was drafted. I got so many people that reached out here and there, just how happy they were. And then with the passing of Koa, just, I don't know, just how much we really love our community, especially those around us, and Giants fans as a whole, because everyone kind of came towards our family and reached out, helped us out in the time we needed them all most. So just going to keep working hard, and hopefully they can see me on the big screen one day, and that's the goal.
All right. Well, I think that's in your future. Thanks again for taking the time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Cool.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of Motiv8'd. Stay tuned in the coming weeks for more. This podcast has been produced by Motiv8 Entertainment, part of Motiv8 Sports Group.